morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Very good, excellent. Well, welcome to Center of Unity. It's a glorious day, and we always like to start this by singing together. We've got some words on the monitor, so please sing along with us. Let's all stand up, kind of get some circulation going on here. Oh, it's so hard to get up in the morning. Get jazzed up here. Let's go. Give thanks to the Lord, our God and King. His love endures forever. For he is good, he is above all things. His love endures forever. Sing praise, sing praise.
With a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, his love endures forever. For this life that's been reborn, his love endures forever. Sing praise, sing praise, sing praise, sing praise. Forever God is faithful, forever God is strong. Forever God is with us, forever. From the rising to the setting sun, his love endures forever. And by the grace of God we will carry on.
His love endures forever.
Sing praise, sing praise, sing praise, sing praise. Forever God is faithful, forever God is strong, forever God is with us, forever.
One more time.
Forever God is faithful, forever God is strong, forever God is with us, forever. Oh, oh,
Sing praise, sing praise, sing praise, sing praise. Oh, sing praise, sing praise,
sing praise, sing praise. Forever God is faithful, forever God is strong, forever God is with us, forever. Forever God is faithful, forever God is strong, forever God is with us, forever, forever, forever.
Woo, yeah.
Well, good morning, everyone. So glad you're joining us, and we're welcoming those who are joining us from the ether waves out there, out on Facebook and YouTube. We see Diane and Nicole are joining us here, and you can make a comment in and let us know that you're with us. We are so grateful for this opportunity to move into fall. I know it's going to be like 100 degrees the next couple of days, but fall officially starts this week. And oftentimes when we move into fall, we're also moving into a bevy of activities. In fact, October starts in less than 2 weeks. Can you believe it? We are kicking off the month of October with a lot of exciting things happening. We are going to be starting our fall series, The Universal Christ, and we will also be kicking off our spirit groups, our small groups that are going to be meeting to be able to really engage with the message or whatever it is that they're going to be exploring together in a much deeper way, and really to also get that connection with each other. It's not something you can easily get on a Sunday morning. We have a group that's going to be doing Journey of Souls, so if you're kind of interested in reincarnation and the ways that our souls travel together, that would be a great opportunity to explore that on Wednesday evenings via Zoom. We also are excited to offer a parenting group that is going to be meeting Saturday mornings in person here, exploring Deepak Chopra's 7 spiritual laws for parenting. And we're excited to get those families starting to be back together. There will be childcare for that. And then we also have, I'm really excited and hearing from your feedback, know that many of you will be too. Mark and Dawn Morris are doing a spirit group where they're going to be blending some information with the Universal Christ with a centering prayer practice. So that's going to be on Thursday evenings, and then we've got a Saturday morning that's going to be exploring the Universal Christ. So lots of options for everybody. We're also having a pet blessing on October the 2nd, excuse me. 3rd is a Sunday. It's Saturday morning, so you can bring your pets up or pictures of them if they don't travel well, and we will be blessing all the pets, and we'll have some fun activities also going on as we celebrate that unconditional love that we get to experience in our lives via those furry friends. And we're also going to be focused in the month of October with continuing our reimagining, and we will be, again, taking all that data. We have some Unity Minister consultants that are going to be coming in later in the month to help us call all that information into a strategic plan to guide us moving forward. And they're going to offer a workshop for you too on October the 24th. They call it their Spiritual Cafe, and it's usually an opportunity to ask all kinds of questions that you might have. Bill Holton is one of the renowned metaphysicians, Unity understanding of metaphysics around, so he's a great resource to be able to ask those questions that you may have been pondering here. So I'm excited for all of the activity that's going to be coming up, and just hope that you'll find those right places to be a part of whatever it is that we're offering. And I just invite you to take that energy of awareness and excitement and looking forward to this new season of discovery and learning as we spend a moment and just center ourselves in prayer. This morning, we will be focusing on healing at all levels of being God, and so we ask that your wisdom and your guidance surround and enfold us, all of those in our community and all of those in our world, with your divine light and wholeness, your wisdom that guides us each individually and collectively to a place where we can express in greater ways the true and the wondrous ways in which we have been created and the ways in which we're here to express that on the planet. May we each feel your comfort as we're navigating whatever healing challenges are unfolding in our lives. Draw from your strength and follow your divine wisdom. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Amen.
Good morning. Today we're highlighting Principle 4 of Unity Principles, and it is we create our life experiences through our way of thinking and acting. Our core value today is service. Service to others is an expression of love. When we show love to others, we're expressing the Christ light within ourselves. Sharing this light is an action we can do every day. Today's daily word is free. Living from my divine nature frees me. Sometimes I feel limited when I don't think I have enough time, money, space, education, or experience. These thoughts can occupy so much space in my mind that I begin to think limitation is the truth of life. The greater truth is that I am free and unlimited in spirit. Alive in God, I am free to express all the love, wisdom, and strength of the divine as only I can. What joy and liberation it is to know that nothing can separate me from my true spiritual nature. If I believe any circumstances in my life or any of my past actions obstruct or delay my spiritual progress, I now release that belief. Embracing and living from the divine presence, the Christ within me, I claim freedom from all limitations. From Acts 17:28, in him we live and move and have our being.
Good try, Laura. You came up anyway. So this morning we're exploring threefold healing. A Course in Miracles states that all disease comes from a state of unforgiveness. And whenever we are ill, we need to look around and see who or what we need to forgive. It's a pretty radical statement that all disease comes from that state of unforgiveness. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but it's something to really explore within our own being. And this statement brings up some questions, perhaps some objections, maybe even some exceptions. It's like, yeah, that's true, except when this happens. We all have our exceptions, don't we? We say, yeah, I believe that, except, yeah, all people are beautiful and wonderful, except for those few that we aren't quite there yet. So I invite you to just hang with me, even if that's kind of stirred something up in you as we explore this healing process that's available to us this morning. Last week I shared about the sacred Trinity, known in Christianity as Father and Son and Holy Spirit, and metaphysically can be understood in a myriad of ways. We can see Father as the source, the creator of all. Son as what has been created from the Father, begotten from the Father, our own indwelling Christ nature. And I love this statement from last week. It's really been moving in me that the Holy Spirit is God in movement, is the very energy of God in movement. And we can also understand these sacred trinities at other levels of being and creation. We explored mind, idea as an expression, as the creative process. It first starts in mind, it becomes an idea, and gets expressed through us as co-creators. We can also look at this trinity as spirit, soul, and body, the levels of being within us. We can even call it the trinity of humankind. It's the very different aspects of us. There is superconscious, conscious, and subconscious, the varying aspects of mind in which we operate through and the levels that we create from. And we're discovering that our healing process can often occur in a trinity in a similar way. So I'm wondering today, what do you guys think are the 3 levels of healing for the body? Anybody have an idea? I'm going to get my phone. Those of you who are watching us online, you can type in your answers there. This is when you get to speak. Any ideas? Oh, take a guess. Say again? Body awareness, okay. Anybody else? Love. Acceptance. Belief, okay. Faith. Release of resentment. I'm going to talk about resentment a little bit later on. I think those are all aspects of what's involved and what we have to engage as part of our healing process. But what I was looking more for, and what I'm going to share today, is the 3 levels of healing that occur in the body are the physical body itself, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. We have all of those within us. Just like mind, idea, expression are the way in which the creation process happens through us, spirit, soul, and body are all intertwined with the physical manifestation. Typically, that's where we notice when something is awry, is at our physical level. But it may have begun in the emotional body, or even at times in our spiritual bodies. In science, and through the discoveries in medicine, we are gaining a greater understanding of how our emotional body and our physical bodies are intertwined, that there is a causal effect. When something's happening at the emotional level, it has an effect on our physical bodies. For example, we know that emotional stress causes cortisol to be released. They're getting much clearer about how those 2 things are intertwined. And when stressors are present and you constantly feel, under attack or having to be in that fight or flight reaction, those cortisol levels stay turned on all the time. And the long-term activation of the stress response system and the overexposure to cortisol and other stress hormones that get related can disrupt almost any of our body's processes. When we have cortisol flooding through us all the time, it might show up in our physical bodies as anxiety or depression, digestive problems, headaches, muscle tension, pain, even more serious diseases like heart disease or heart attack or high blood pressure or strokes. It might affect our sleep. It might affect our weight levels, our memory, our concentration. So there's a whole intertwined process happening between the emotional body and the physical body. In fact, dis-ease literally means separation, opposition, or negation of ease. Whenever you see dis in front of it, that's what it's meaning. There is something that is opposite of the word that follows it. Louise Hay, who is a New Thought minister and publisher of Hay House, which has brought many spiritual books to the marketplace, wrote the book many years ago, You Can Heal Your Life. And with this understanding between the spiritual and the emotional and the physical bodies, she created a roadmap for people to heal, to really try and understand what's going on when something's happening at the physical level, to try and begin to explore how that might be causally related to something going on in the emotional body or in the spiritual body. And she states that there are 4 emotional states of being that cause the major problems in our bodies. Anybody have guesses to what those are? Anger, resentment, regret, fear. It's a big one. Yeah. And this is hers, and they're similar, but she says resentment is one, criticism, guilt, and fear are the 4 major states of emotional being that cause the most physical damage in our bodies. A pattern of long-held resentment can eat away at the body and become a disease that we call cancer. Can. It's not necessarily always a one-for-one, but it can. Criticism, as a regular habit, can often lead to arthritis in the body. Guilt always looks for punishment, and punishment can cause pain. And fear and the tension that it produces can create things like, I'm just reading what she said here, baldness, ulcers, and breathing problems. Another unity minister and prolific author, Catherine Ponder, states in her book, The Dynamic Laws of Healing, that you can heal specifically resentment with gratitude. You cannot be grateful and resentful at the same time. When you feel a surge of resentment showing up because of a slight or a hurt or a disappointment or something that's happened that you can feel that emotion arising, you can deliberately change the direction of your feeling body, your emotional body, by thinking of something for which you're grateful. And let that be the emotion that comes in. She reminds us, and it's a difficult one to remember in the moment, make a practice, and so this is an invitation for you, of praising your problems, your troubles, and your difficult experiences. You think that's possible to do? That when something shows up that just screws your day up, you can go, oh, thank you. I'm so grateful that this has arisen for me. And sometimes you have to start that way, in that not quite so convincing tone, but at least I'm going to start that way. And then as you begin to, and sometimes you can't go in that direction, but you can think of something. My favorite is my 2-year-old that really brings up that well of gratitude and love. And let that, just breathe into that for a minute and then continue on with your day. And while I've never put my total trust in any one author or any one idea, I think that this spiritual journey, ideas change and shift and evolve and grow and expand as we are in that road exploring all of them. I've often used these 2 books as a discovery tool, at least a launching off part, to see if there's something else going on that I need to address beyond just the physical body and looking at the other aspects of myself. For instance, I often suffer from allergies, as many of you know, sometimes in more intense or less intense degrees, depending on the time of the year. And if I look that up in You Can Heal Your Life, so she has a whole chart of all sort of known ailments, and you can look up allergies, and it states that allergies are related to emotional congestion, fear of the calendar, So oftentimes when my allergies have really kicked up into high gear, I will step back and go, so what else is going on? Where else do I need to put some attention so that I can support my body in healing through the allergies? I might work with an affirmation or something that helps me shift my thinking and feeling. Myrtle Fillmore, one of our Unity co-founders, also believed in the divine laws and that those laws of health were threefold. She describes it as spiritual, and she would go on to say under the spiritual, our goal is to keep ourselves assured that there is a God-given freedom from anxiety, worry, fear, and lack. That is the spiritual and the eternal side of who we are. There's a mental level, and that we can call upon the intelligence that allows us to see beyond the circumstances and tap into something greater. And then obviously the physical. And she says we can do our best to support these earth suits we get to wear by using our right thinking and powers to form the habits that keep us in the best health that we can manage. She writes that there's a tendency to disregard the harmonious combination of these three elements. One person may be very careful to observe the spiritual. They may be very habitual in their prayer, in their connection, in their awareness at the spiritual level of their wholeness, but then ignore the physical and the emotional level. Others might focus on the emotional and the tools that they have to keep their emotional body in balance. And then others might be totally focused on the physical. That's sort of the default human, is let's just focus on the physical and what we need to do to heal that. And she reminds us that our work is to unify these three and to bring, as a result, our whole self into understanding and application of the truth of being. We have to remember, we were talking last week about the balance in the trinities, and it's interesting, a triangle is a perfectly balanced reflection in geometry. It's equal on all sides, and because of that, it can bear a lot of weight because it has that perfect balance. And that's part of our opportunity too, is to not just focus on one, but to be able to blend and balance all three together. One who remembers and lives by the spiritual promise of the law of health will not worry or seek to manage other people's affairs or neglect to feed their soul. That's Myrtle's advice from about 100 years ago, still true today. One who is determined that the physical life will show forth the peace and the order of the spiritual reality and divine intelligence is considerate of the body, careful in their demands upon it, and seeks to meet its needs each day. So that's the advice that Myrtle gives to all of us. When we are on this journey to really seek complete healing, we are called to look at all levels of being. And this can be very complex. I know I make it sound quite simple. Just do this and this and this, and it's all good. But we are a deep and complex level of beingness within us because we're in and navigating not just the spiritual or the emotional, but the physicalness of this world too. You know, often when I counsel with people who are facing a healing challenge at whatever level of being it might be, the biggest question they have is why? Why? Why is this happening? Why is this part of my journey? And after 20 years of doing this, I usually answer with, I don't know. I wish I had the right answer for you. I wish I could just say it's X, Y, and Z and go and don't worry anymore. because it's such a complex question and it's so unique to each one of us. I do believe that our beliefs and the resulting thoughts and emotions can have a physical effect on our bodies. And by shifting those thoughts and emotions, we can heal at all levels of being. Sometimes our physical challenge can be the greatest gifts to open us up and to awaken us to these other levels of being that are living and are an integral part of who we are. And I believe that we have to open our minds and our hearts to a greater and broader understanding. There's so much more that we don't know. A renewal of our thinking and understanding, or as Romans chapter 2, verse 12 reminds us, to be transformed by the renewal of our minds. That's as much of our healing process as any of the activities that we might do to support it. The Message Bible interprets it this way. It says, so here's what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing that you can do for God. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You will be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what is being called for you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you, always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings out the best in you and develops a well-formed maturity in you. Here's how I interpret it, at least from a healing perspective. When it comes to healing, don't become so immersed in what science tells us is the cause of disease or what the cure is. Don't become so fixed on one author or counselor that tells you what the problem is. Open yourself to God, to that divine intelligence, and seek to find what is calling for you to shift so that the situation can be healed. As I was thinking about this and as I've worked through this process before, I went through this time of deep and challenging and complex questioning when we lost our son to a drug overdose. I remember years ago, as he was navigating through this, which was a 20-year process, I looked up addiction and You Can Heal Your Life. I wanted to go see what Louise Hay had to say about it. And she says that addiction comes from running from the self, from fear, and from not knowing how to love the self. I probably shared this with Trey a time or two, to whatever level that he could hear it from me. And then I finally came to understand, as I looked at the divine understanding and intelligence within myself, that his soul chose to come into this life experience and chose to have addiction as part of his experience. And our soul group, the group that supported him in this process, got to have an opportunity to practice unconditional love. That was our role, at least in that part of the journey, to be in that place as we're called, as Christed beings, of non-judgment, of forgiveness, and of compassion. And I'm very grateful to say that 7 years since we've had to walk through this experience, I've been able to get to that place so that it no longer lives in my emotional and physical body as a place of stress, as a place of upset, as a place of worry or sadness, but understanding it from this much larger level. We have the answers within us. We can certainly get support from others, but we also have access to the greatest set of encyclopedias there ever was, and that is the enduring truth that guides us each. So I will invite you now to join, and we're going to move into a time of meditation so that we can, for a moment anyway, tap into and listen to that own internal wisdom and ask it to reveal to us whatever challenges we might be experiencing right now, the ways in which we can move through them and allow them to heal. So right where you are, I just invite you to get comfortable. Feel your feet as they are firmly planted on the floor. And imagine that there are roots growing out of your feet, moving deep into the earth below. These roots ground you, nourish you, are your source of continued growth in your physical being. And you can draw upon them the richness that comes from Mother Earth. And also become aware of your hands, wherever they may be at this moment. Just notice them. Notice them on your lap. And now become aware of your breath as it moves in and out of your body. The gentle flow, the rise and the fall of the belly and the chest. In the very breath that we breathe in every moment is the very breath of God moving in and through us, the very breath of love, of wisdom, of intelligence, of comfort, of strength. And now see if you can't shift your attention right into the center of your chest, into your heart space. That place that is where our divine essence lives within us. Where it is what connects us to the universal, everywhere present, divine energy. And breathing that in to our entire being, not just into our physical being, but into our emotional and spiritual bodies. Ask whatever it is that may be representing itself as a challenge to you, to know what is your next step into calling forth greater wholeness at all levels of being. Even if you're not sure how to ask the question, simply be open to receiving the right and perfect guidance in this moment. Just listen with that inner ear. And know that even if you didn't receive absolute clarity in this moment, that as you ask, you shall receive. This is the divine law of creation. It is the divine flow of giving and receiving. And so continue to be open and aware as you move through this day and the days to come. It might be something that shows up in a book you're reading, or a conversation that you have, or something you here on TV, that you will feel that move of energy and that aha moment that awakens you to some new way of thinking and feeling and believing. It is in that energy of gratitude that we live and allow our heart to continue to guide us in what is to unfold. Grateful for the healing that is unfolding right now, even if we can't see or understand it yet. And as you begin to bring your attention back to this time and space, aware once again of your feet grounded into the floor, the hands in your lap, and the breath moving in and out of your body. Feel a sense of aliveness, anticipation, and as always, gratitude. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So our invitation this week is to take a new look at our own healing process, to renew our minds and our beliefs and our understandings, and to seek out our own inner guidance, to be open to what that guidance is calling and seeking to reveal in us, and to know that all things are possible in this journey of discovery. We heal as we remember that life and light, the very essence of God, are right in our midst. They're right in the middle of whatever it is that we're facing. And we call forth the experience of that healing as we allow our highest intelligence to guide every aspect of our life. And so I'm going to ask you to know and affirm that, because one of the things we do is affirm by speaking statements of truth to help us resonate with that truth at every level of being. And so as we bring up this affirmation, I'm going to invite you to say it with me. Together, my spiritual, mental, and physical life and world harmoniously express the ideas of the Christ mind. Thank you, God. Amen.
You are not hidden. It's never a moment you are forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you've been broken, your innocence stolen, I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. There is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. It's not defenseless. I'll be your shelter, I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will Send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of your hardest fight. I will too. I will rescue you. Oh, I will rescue you.
Right. Woo. Well, know that we are so grateful for all of the ways in which you support and loyally give your time, your talents, and your treasure as you demonstrate God's movement in our world. After we bless our gifts, the ushers are going to invite you to come up row by row and place your gift in the larger basket that you see up here, and then receive, because we want to be in that flow of giving and receiving always, an affirmation to bless you this week. And even if you give as part of our electronic committed giving program, or this is not your Sunday to share, we want you to be in that flow. Just simply come. You can either take a card that you'll find in the pew that acknowledges that you give, or you can simply just place your hand over and add your energy of love to our offering basket. And then, of course, receive your affirmation. And for those of you who are watching us via YouTube or Facebook, you want to be in the fun too. I know you do. You can go to our website, centerofunity.org, to the Give page. And if you scroll down on that page, there's affirmations there. You can just pick the picture that resonates with you and receive your affirmation for the week. So let us take what we offer today into our hands, into our hearts, and bless it together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
That was beautiful. Thank you. It's my pleasure. If you're watching us for the first time, we're very glad that you have chosen us as someone you want to spend your Sunday with. We invite you to visit our website and fill out the Connect card. And if you're local, we invite you to visit us in person. Now, if you're visiting us in person for the first time, well, needless to say, we'll be very excited. Please complete a visitor's card. It looks like this, and it's in the back of the pew in front of you, and drop it in the basket going out, or you can also leave it at our welcome desk, okay, our welcome visitors desk. Now, it excites me because these two people are in the room. Appreciation goes this Sunday to Phyllis Lantfit and Carolyn Wheeler. For at least a couple of years, Phyllis has faithfully filled out birthday and anniversary cards to our congregants, and we are grateful for attention to remembering our special days. Phyllis recently released this caring act, and Carolyn Whelan immediately stepped up to the plate, taking over so that no one was overlooked. In fact, Carolyn finished the October cards already. We know Carolyn, that would happen, and we'll be working on cards for the rest of the year during the coming weeks. Please, so if you'll join me. So Phyllis and Carolyn, for your kind expression of love for your spiritual family, we together joined. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we hold the Christ in you. Namaste.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Spirit groups are small, supportive discussion groups where you can gain practical insights about spiritual principles to transform every area of your life. Groups are forming now, and there are 4 times available, so visit the COU website or app and sign up by October 11th. Bring your pets or a picture of them to the front lawn near the fountain for this special blessing. Pet and human treats will be available, and you'll have an opportunity to take a picture with your pet. Tell your friends so they can join in on this special time. Join Gigi Johnson online as she answers some of the most frequently asked questions about Unity and introduces you to the history and practices of Center of Unity. Visit the COU website or app to sign up and receive your digital manual for review prior to class. Each Wednesday, Sherry Thompson leads a chair yoga class at 3:30 and a Hatha yoga class at 5 p.m. Tuition is $15 per class and there's no commitment. Visit innerwisdomyoga.com for more info. Save the date and come raise the roof at our Christmas Gala and fundraiser on Friday, December 3rd. There are a lot of opportunities to help make this fundraiser a great success. Please contact Nicole Sweat or Mary Salerno to get involved. We have a variety of online classes available each week. Visit centerofunity.org for more info. There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, use the COU or Venmo app, or you can text to give. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.
Very nice. Well, it's good that we had this wonderful evening, this morning together. It's great service. Linda, Reverend Linda, another great message. Nicole, astounding. Please come join us. And let's all stand up and sing the peace song and get on with our lovely day.
With God as our
as we go into this day, into this week, we go knowing our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful week, everyone. If you're interested in any of the books, we got them in the bookstore. You can come visit us there.